Daring Abroad in association with Equity PayPal.
You've heard about doctors leaving the country seeking greener pastures abroad. Now, some look at that as brain drain. Others, on the contrary, look at it as brain gain. Tonight, on our Daring Returnees edition of Daring Abroad, we feature Dr. Johstone Miheso, who worked in the UK for 10 years as a gynecologist. Now, he's back in Kenya at the Aga Khan University Hospital. Here is his story. Dr. Johstone Miheso was born in Ileho sublocation, Isuha East location, Shinyalu constituency in Kakamega County.
I went to a school in the same village called Ileho Primary School. Thereafter, after my standard 8, I went to St. Peter's Mumias Boys High School in Western Kenya before proceeding to Moi University in Eldoret to study medicine and surgery. So after Moi University, we did a mandatory one-year internship. And I did this in Machakos General Hospital. And after finishing, I worked for the government at Mathare Hospital, where I spent about 2 years after internship. Then applied and got a job in Aga Khan Hospital, where I worked as a senior house officer before applying to go to the United Kingdom for my further training in obstetrics and gynecology.
It was just a thought initially, says Dr. Miheso. Eventually, a combination of many things, in his own words, that made him eager to dare abroad.
So the first thing you had to do to go to the UK was to sit an exam, an English exam in Nairobi. It's called IELTS. And once you passed that one, you applied directly to the General Medical Council, which is the registration body in the UK.
Dr. Miheso left for the UK in 2002, where he underwent a clinical attachment at Fairage Hospital in Yorkshire, in northern part of England.
And that took the form of maybe 2 weeks of attachment to just get used to the clinical scenario so that you are well oriented in their system. And following that, you took an oral exam. And if you passed the 2 exams, the only thing standing between you and practice was actually just looking for a job.
Then he came back to Kenya. But it took him just a few months before returning to the UK, with his first stop being Darlington Hospital in North England. This is where he began practicing as a gynecologist.
From there, I moved to Manchester, and in Manchester, I was rotated through 5 hospitals. The first of which was North Manchester General Hospital, and then Lancaster Royal Infirmary, then Burnley, and then Royal Oldham.
In 2007, Dr. Miheso moved to Scotland, where he worked in 2 hospitals. He gained various skills, eventually specializing in urogynecology.
It's a newer branch of gynecology, and it deals with pelvic floor disorders in women as well as lower urinary tract disorders. Being a new specialty, I thought it was something that was not available locally. So during the training, at the back of my mind, I knew that this is something I can actually find useful at home.
The Kenyan medic experienced what many first-time visitors abroad go through: culture shock.
And one of the biggest problems was being a male in a career which is dominated in the UK by women. But generally speaking, they have a different approach to obs and gynae than we do, and sexuality matters as we know them.
With time, he managed to overcome the culture shock.
So thankfully, they actually accept you as long as you're entrusted with that job. They know that you have actually ticked off all the boxes required for you to work as a doctor.
All public hospitals in the UK are run by the National Health Service, commonly known as NHS. Dr. Miheso experienced firsthand how medical services in the UK are different from those in Kenya.
It's actually like the Ministry of Health. It's a body that organizes, responsible for offering medical services in the whole country. NHF comes in terms of funding in Kenya, so it's completely a different area altogether.
In the UK, when seeking treatment, the first person you meet is a general practitioner.
And everybody in the UK, as soon as you move to the UK, or if you're a UK citizen, you actually get registered with a general practitioner, a GP. So for common ailments, things that can be treated by a general practitioner, you get seen by your GP. When it requires some specialized treatment like gynecology or ophthalmology, dentistry, then you get sent to a tertiary institute. That's when you end up with the NHS hospitals.
While one can walk into any public hospital in the UK and be treated for free for any ailment, drugs are not given for free.
And when you get a prescription, then that you have to go and pay for at the chemistry.
And there are strict regulations against buying drugs over the counter without a doctor's prescription.
That prescription will have the doctor's general medical council number. So before they can, and that's very verifiable. You can go online and get and recheck the doctor's registration. So you don't walk into the counter and get treated, because everything is regulated, and for you to be given, it has to be the right medication for the right indication. Often here people try to get the shortcut and just walk into a chemist and buy off medications. And that is bad practice, because you may not be treating the right thing, and also maybe a waste of your resources.
More on Dr. Miheso's experience in the UK and why he decided to come back home after our Miles Away segment.
On our Miles Away segment, we take a look at the city of Manchester, one of the cities where Dr. Miheso worked. The city, commonly referred to as Manchester, is both a city and a metropolitan borough in the northwest of England. As of 2017, it had a population of just over 500,000 people. It achieved its city status in 1853 and is the UK's third most visited city after London and Edinburgh in Scotland. The city is known for its magnificent architecture, scientific ideas, and rich culture. The University of Manchester, which has a student population of about 40,000, is the largest university in the United Kingdom in terms of enrollment. While in Manchester, Dr. Miheso worked at North Manchester General Hospital, which is the largest hospital in the city. The city is also home to two famous English football clubs, Manchester United and Manchester City. And that's Miles Away. My name is Michael Zimanji.
It is, those are work-related things, eh?
Possibly, actually. I can't see any other.
We are featuring Dr. Johstone Miheso, a Kenyan returnee from the UK. He is a urogynecologist and assistant professor at the Aga Khan University Hospital, Nairobi. He worked in the UK for 10 years, from 2002 to 2012. In the UK, he learned that getting specialized treatment may take a little longer compared to Kenya due to long waiting lists.
That if you wanted to see a specialist in Kenya, you actually can walk straight to their door and knock and get in and get seen. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is something subject to debate. Because one good thing about that is that your treatment will not be delayed. As long as I can see you and I think that's a necessary procedure to be done, I can do it if I have time the same day or the following day. If you walk into an NHS hospital, first of all, you have to see a GP. And before the GP actually satisfies that you are ready to see the specialist, they have to try some treatment of some sort. So the problem is that they are dealing with a huge number of people. As I said, this is free. So you can imagine how many people come through. So for casualty, for instance, it takes about 4 hours to be seen. So the waiting time, normal waiting time in casualty in the UK is 4 hours.
Away from professional matters, we asked Dr. Miheso, is the UK an easy place to live?
Cost of living is obviously higher. So you got to deal with a mortgage, you got to deal with a car, you got to deal with a few more bills that come your way. And overall, I mean, some people will feel like that, but quite a lot of people will feel they're actually comfortable there, because once you reach a certain level and you have a house now, you've got a car, I think things become actually much easier.
So was it worth it, living and working in the UK?
I think I'm a better person having worked in the UK. One, because the system works and you sort of learn whether it's the work ethics and just living in a different community, that opens your mind to a lot of other new horizons that you may not really know.
And did he meet other Kenyans there?
The majority of the ones I met are doctors, because obviously we work together. But there are nurses I know who are in the UK, and the other cadres of healthcare providers as well who are.
All said and done, a time came when Dr. Miheso had to say bye-bye to the UK.
The drive to promote health in Kenya and give back to my country and so that patients can benefit from the new training. It will take a long time before we have 50 urogynecologists in the country, but it has to start from somewhere.
He is happy to transfer the knowledge to others at the Aga Khan University Hospital.
So this room we use for urodynamics, which is a specialized bladder investigation that looks at the disorders of the bladder, and what we're looking at are the normal functions as well as the abnormal function of the bladder. So we're looking at things like volume, pressure and flow rate, etc. There are 4 components of this machine. So we have this computer with a screen. We've got the couch where the patient lies, and then we have the 2 extensions of the machine. So once a patient comes in, the patient is made comfortable. So you change them into a comfortable where they lie on that couch, and then you connect up your tubes and pipes so that you're able to record them through the procedure.
As he explains that technology is the way to go.
This is the only machine that we have locally, and I know we have other machines that do a bit less than what this one does. But a comprehensive machine like this, this is the only type available in our setup.
Finally, this is Dr. Miheso's take on daring abroad.
There's opportunity outside there, there's skills to learn, and at the end of the day, each individual will decide what they do with their skills, whether they want to stay there forever. So I think it's a positive thing to experience a different culture and different ways of doing things, and hopefully that can benefit somebody back home.
PayPal is a faster, safer way to make and receive online payments. With the Equity Bank's PayPal withdrawal service, you can access funds received from anywhere around the globe. Even better, you can now withdraw funds from your PayPal account to your Equity Bank account at a reduced rate of as little as 1%. Visit Equity's self-service portal to link your PayPal account to your Equity Bank account today.